Hi, I'm trading the ES on a 2000 tick chart with a 21 EMA. So before I get into the main review, I just want to talk about this trade. So someone asked a question about it. I took this trade, I recorded it and uploaded it as soon as I got out of the trade. So you can go watch this trade right now. Actually, it's just my last video. But someone left a comment on it. They asked a question. So the comment was by JR, and he said, "Bro, I don't understand these kinds of trades. How would how I would look at it is price pushing up, there is a higher low, followed by a push above the EMA, so go long. But no, going short was the correct move. Why?" So he's asking why I went short here instead of going long, considering this push up, higher low, and then push above the EMA. And that's just because this bullish move right here, that's really short term. I mean, we're in this big downtrend. So I was just planning on shorting off the key entry point, and how I see it is two legs back to the key entry point. And so as far as the higher low goes, it's like when you get a two-legged correction, that's often going to make a higher low. Um, but higher lows, to take them, you really got to have momentum, and there's no bullish momentum here. That's just a tiny move. I mean, we're in a downtrend, so that's why I don't want to go long there. That's why I wanted to go short, and also because so we're in this range, right? We have the highs and the lows, so we're in a range, and we break out and fail, so we fade back into the range. When you fade a range, you're locked in. So we faded down, so we're going lower here. We're basically locked into going shorts. We're locked into only looking for shorts until this downtrend plays out, because the range rules are when you break out of one side of a range, when you come off one side of a range, you're expected to reach the other side unless price proves otherwise beforehand. So like here, when this downtrend has a break in a new low, now it's a lot safer to look for longs, and then we actually have a reversal from there. We just make a double bottom and then we start going up. But obviously it's not going to make a new low every time. But if I faded a range down and I was in a downtrend, if I was to look for a long, I would need price to at least have a break and then two clear attempts. So like this leg here and then this leg right here, so these two legs. If price had made these two attempts and then say price rushed above the EMA and started, getting some entries off of the EMA, it's like then it would be a good place to look to go long because we had two clear attempts at a new low and then reversed. So it just failed at making a new low. But at this point, the downtrend's completely in play, so you're just going to want to look for shorts. Um, yeah, so basically it was just too short picture. It's just too small picture looking at these small up moves. You got to look at this bigger picture context. But but anyway, so I just wanted to start off with that. Um, I started around right here. So basically, we have the overnight highs and overnight lows at this point. We have this uptrend. We have a break. We have a couple attempts at a new high. We push below the EMA. We finally push higher. So here it can be uptrend, break, first attempt, and then we're getting a second attempt rushing above the EMA on a bigger picture, that is. And so we go into this small uptrend right here, which let me zoom in. So we go into this small uptrend. We have a break. We have a new high. I didn't want to go long there, even though it's a second entry. It's just so flat and sideways, and then the fact that it closed below the EMA, combined with the fact of how flat it is, I just didn't want to take anything there. So anyway, then we go into this uptrend. I drew it a couple different ways at first, but I ended up leaving it with this. Um, I was looking to get entries to go long to continue with this uptrend, but we just don't get anything because we don't get back to the EMA, and I like it to get back to the EMA. So anyway, at this point we have two big legs up. Um, we rush back below, and then I mark this right here. It's it's basically a long setup that's not very good. It's not like so bad if you took it. Like you still would have won the trade even for 1-to-1. I mean, like it's definitely not a 1-to-2 trade that you definitely wouldn't want to go for 1-to-2 on this. This is just not good enough for that because you have two legs up. So if you have two legs up, then that's likely the end of the move. So if you have two legs up and then you immediately get a tiny reversal pattern from this tiny downtrend that just occurred, I mean, I would just be too worried about it fading because we just broke out of the range. Price can easily fail, and you have two legs up already. So, you know, maybe if price broke out with one huge leg and then we got an entry to possibly make a second leg up, then that would be good. But we have two clear legs up at this point, so I'd be a little bit worried to go long there. So anyway, we rush below the EMA. We barely get a scalp on that. So a one-to-one trade we get even if you enter on the stop entry. We rush below the EMA. So I'm basically looking to go short on the corrections now. Um, we don't really get anything for a bit though. Um, we don't reach it here. If we had gotten like a second entry short right there, that could have been really nice. But we don't. We just chop around a bit. We're going kind of sideways. We're just chopping in between the EMA and the highs of the day at this point. So we go into this downtrend, and then we get to this trade, which I've already gone over. Second entry off the key entry point. Um, it's okay with me, even though it went above the EMA. I mean that's okay with me because the context is so strong. It's the fourth bounce off a key entry point. We're fading a range. You know, price is not expected to go higher. I mean, I'm basically expecting price to stay bearish until this downtrend plays out. So I'm very confident in that trade right there. Um, anyway, so we go down. The downtrend has a break, couple legs to a new low. Um, after we get a couple swings, at first I drew a range like this. Let me just. So at first I had something like this. Then we started getting these breakouts, pulling back. Um, we made this double bottom here, and then I extended it. I extended the range to here. Um, And then we also, oh yeah, that's right. I also got this mini range. I was trying to get a failed breakout to buy, because the whole downtrend played out at this point, so it would have been safer to buy, but we don't get any good setups. And then we do get this first entry short, second entry short failure, but it's reached the high of the range in the middle of that move, so you can't take that, you know. Um, anyway, so we go into this uptrend. At first I don't draw. At first I'm just looking for shorts up here, but here I was like tempting to take a short because I clearly see that we have these range highs here, but we just held off the EMA, and we were having these big pushes above, so I was kind of worried to take them. I would have gotten out at 1-to-1. I wasn't confident enough in it to go for 1-to-2 anyway, so I could have gotten out with some profit, but I was unwilling to take those trades. But I eventually got a much better looking trade over here. So price broke out of the range. Most breakouts fail. Oh, that's right. I have this uptrend at this point. So I took this trade right here. I only went for 1-to-1. I wanted to go for 1-to-2, but there's a few reasons that I stopped myself from doing that. Um, first is I feel like I would have taken this trade if I had seen it. I feel like I would have. I can't say for sure because I didn't take it, but I really feel like I would have taken that. And I was looking for another live trade for a really long time, so that's kind of annoying to see. But anyway, um, so this uptrend, yes, it's in play, but I still thought it was okay to go short here because we did break out. It's a lower high, or it's actually a failed second entry, first entry long, second entry long failure. So it's a failed second entry, fade of the range. Um, now I had this line here, this support. I wanted to get out before that support. Now I feel like if that was the only reason stopping me from going for 1-to-2, I probably would have still gone for 1-to-2. But this uptrend is still technically in play. It has one attempt at a new high. I still allowed myself to go short because the price didn't reach the other side of the channel in right here. So clearly it couldn't reach the highs. So there's some sort of bearish activity. But combined with the fact that there is still an uptrend there and we have this support, I was unwilling to go for more than 1-to-1. So I would have made 1-2, but uh, I mean, I stand by my reasons for going for 1-1. I still believe that was the best target for this trade. So, so anyway, we go into this downtrend, or well, at first we go into this downtrend. We get a break, a couple legs to a new low. I was really looking for some trades here, but I didn't get any. And, you know, anyway, we come off the overnight low here. We quickly turn down, and then we break out. We start to pull back, but the EMA holds us down. Then we start to get this bigger trend, which has a break. It only has two confirms actually, so it might not be valid. But we have a break, this lower high, that looks pretty good. Just to go for 1-1 to get out before the channel, you know. I would kind of be worried for going 1-2 into the very lows. I mean, it's not the very lows because it still was here at this point, but you know, it's a pretty good looking trade right there. So here I'll mark it. Oh, supposed to be sea green. All right, anyway, so then we have a failed second entry, and then that also looks like it gets 1-2. You definitely wouldn't want to go for 1-1. I mean, it looks like it gets 1-1. I mean, you definitely wouldn't want to go 1-2 because you're entering into a double bottom into the lows of the day, and your failed second entry has two legs down before your entry anyway. So that's what I'm thinking. And in this trade, it looks like something's setting up, but I would want this uptrend to have a break so that way I can have an uptrend break, expect a new high. Um, so yeah, I guess that's the day. I got these two winners, no losers. I wish I got. God, I was seriously waiting a really, really long time. I wanted to get another recorded trade. Um, I was seriously waiting forever in here, and then when I start the video, I see that there's a trade that I likely would have taken. I'm saying likely because I can't say for sure that I would have taken it because I didn't take it, but that looks like something that I would be taking, to be honest with you. So anyway, hope y'all had a good day. Um, hope you got at least one more trade than I did. But anyway, if you want to go check out this trade live, then you can go see it. It's just my last video. Um, but anyway, have a good day, everybody.